Netflix anime sucks. Over the past years, Netflix has continued to jam their foot in the door of the anime industry, for better or for worse. Not only do they now carry hundreds of shows for you to watch, but they've also started to produce their own original series. Quotations around original. To answer the question of why I despise Netflix anime so much is hard to explain in just several seconds, so this video will tackle these points on screen to explain just what it is they're doing wrong and how they need to pivot to dodge the inevitable destruction of their footprint in the industry. So go ahead, kick back, and listen to the fall of Netflix anime. Netflix anime isn't bad solely because Netflix is at the helm of it. Well, I mean, it kind of plays a role. Netflix has always been a streaming company that grabs a few big IPs, and with the remainder of their budget, they get streaming licenses to shitty movies and shows that no one has ever heard of, nor has anyone watched. Believe me, there is some terrible stuff on here. Netflix has taken this same approach when it comes to getting rights to anime. They choose a few big shows like Full Metal Alchemist, JoJo, and Attack on Titan, although they don't even have the whole show, and after that, they buy rights to a bunch of shows that may be graced with a 6 on Mal. And that's if they're lucky. A lot of these quote-unquote Netflix originals are prime examples of that. While you may think, as did I, that Netflix original means that Netflix produced said show, well, that's not entirely accurate. While some of these are done by production teams they've hired, most are just bought from studios who are not confident in their poor work and go to Netflix to get a hefty payday for sole streaming rights. It's a win for the studios since they don't have to entirely scrap this show, and a win for Netflix as they just got a new show. However, it's a severe loss for viewers and more specifically fans of that anime IP. Imagine hearing that your favorite manga just got picked up for an anime, but when you go to turn it on, it looks like this. I don't know about you, but if I wanted to watch a slideshow, I'd just go to class. A lot of these series that are granted the holy title of Netflix original have shitty production value and lifeless scripts. High-Rise Invasion, Dragon's Dogma, Yasuke, this Godzilla shit, this Bad Ghost in the Shell thing, some more Fate, Baki, Seven Deadly Sins. All of these are examples of shows that fit this narrative. High-Rise Invasion is the literal definition of a show that lacks any uniqueness besides the fact that it takes place on skyscrapers. There are so many predictable plot threads that I stopped watching altogether 4 episodes in because I could see exactly where this was going and it lacked any reason to keep me around. On the other side of the spectrum, Baki has an interesting plot, but the animation quality is lackluster in a show that seems to have less of a budget to work with than the newest Pokemon season. The characters just feel lifeless and two-dimensional. Well, I guess they are. What I mean to say here is that they don't make you feel as connected as much as you would for characters like Rengoku or Yuji, who really come alive on screen. Now, the shows I've mentioned up to this point are just the tip of the Netflix iceberg. Like I said, Netflix has hundreds of shows ranging in quality. It's not that all of them are bad, it's just the sheer number that are is a problem. But by far, the worst action that Netflix has taken is stretching the definition of what is considered an anime. Ah, yes. Anime. If you are watching this video, you probably like it at least a little bit. But have you ever wondered what exactly makes an anime an anime? Anime is a term for an animated series or movie that is made in Japan, usually using source material like manga that is also made in Japan. So to be considered an anime by definition, it must be solely created in Japan. But Netflix doesn't see it that way. There are quite a few examples from them of rather shitty projects that tag team Japanese artists with American ones. They outsource parts of production, they go for quantity over quality. This action has created really bad products, Yasuke being a prime example of this. A period piece that is influenced by the Afro Samurai of Japanese legend, but throw in robots and sci-fi shit for God knows what reason. Americanizing everything isn't always the best option, and this is one of those cases. Anime is so beautiful to me because it is a massive industry that is ran out of a small island country. Each show retains part of Japan's culture and society that is very different from my own. It's very much for me like a looking glass into a different world. A place where these writers and creators think of these absurd things and execute them to the highest levels. Want a show where a boy can transform into a giant flesh beast? Done. An English gentleman fighting his adopted brother who is part vampire? Got it. A show where a 25-year-old is transformed back into a high schooler to learn life lessons and get back on his feet? I got that too. America doesn't always think of ideas like this and go for it as they're afraid of the failure, but Japan adopts this weirdness and goes with it. Part of it is because America relies heavily on creative formulas. The movie industry finds something that works and keeps reproducing with various levels of success, but success nonetheless. Anyway, what I'm getting at here is that what I find makes anime so great is the fact that it's a Japan-only only kind of thing. Only Japan can create anime, and then they distribute it worldwide. What Netflix is doing is attempting to take away some of that beauty, and I don't want that. But how exactly do you get a massive corporation to stop doing what they're doing? Well, the only thing that can stop Netflix from doing what they do is if it stops making money. Now, I'm not here to start some stupid consumer ban on watching Netflix, but what I will say is that over time, as they release more and more bad anime adaptations, people will stop watching them and will stop caring when Netflix drops a new anime. It's kind of like a slow cooker version of it. I mean, hell, it's already happened. A lot of people are aware of how crappy Netflix anime can be. But on the other hand, there's also a lot of people who don't mind it, or even, dare I say, defend it. Look, if you're one of those people, I get it, no hard feelings. They have made shows like Great Pretender, which are a really fun watch. In all honesty, the community will define the success of Netflix's attempt in the anime industry. As of right now, they get a lot of flack for their actions, and for good reasons, so I'm not too worried. If you're really interested in being an activist, I guess just don't watch the shows that suck, or go blog about it. I think that's still a thing. Anyway, Netflix, listen here, guy. I want my anime to stay anime. I want my looking glass to be pointed towards Japan. I want my stories to be unique and not just some sci-fi Americanized action shitfest. I want my anime to be from Japan. Thank you. I rest my case. Well, I hope this rant was at least a little entertaining to you. I had to get it off my chest somehow, and you were the most likely to understand. I want to give a special thanks to everyone who has bought merch so far. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't, it's not too late. The store will be up and stay up for quite some time. So if you're interested, click the link down below. Also, one last announcement. I have created a Patreon to help support my content. There are currently 2 tiers with various rewards, from Discord access to unreleased video access and exclusive updates. If any of that piques your interest, the link is also down below, so feel free to click on that to check it out as well. Now, with all that said and out of the way, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next week. Ja ne.